This video pays homage to Ryan George's pitch meeting channel and comedic style and is the only pitch meeting I've ever done or will ever do. The views expressed in this video are intended for comedic purposes and is not an actual reflection of my opinion on the film. So, you have an animated 2D theater release for me? Yes, sir, I do. Haven't seen one of those since the 2011 Winnie the Pooh revival. What's this movie? We're calling it the Bob's Burgers movie. Ah, so it's based off that animated adult sitcom whose episodes are rated TV PG. That's the one. Nice. So what burger-related shenanigans are those belchers up to this time? Well, no, see, this is a movie, so we're going with a murder mystery this go-round. Very different from the source material, so does someone murder one of those wonderfully crafted side characters then? No, actually, it's gonna be a random carny we've never heard of till now. Oh, yeah. Well, wouldn't that make things less important if it's some random guy? Hey, shut up. So we're going to open the movie all dark and mysterious, waves crashing against the pier with a caption that reads 6 years ago. Ooh, Bob's Burgers lore. Absolutely. Fantastic. We also want to be sure to do a slow pan across the only flickering light in an otherwise perfectly lit wharf. Very dramatic, sir. Thank you. So what happened 6 years ago? Well, we're going to have two shadowy figures get into a scuffle. But that's going to eventually lead to the sound and flash of a gunshot. Oh my, and I assume there aren't any witnesses to this eluded murder? No, none outside of the stuffed animals that are clearly traumatized by what they just witnessed. Oh, anthropomorphic trauma is tight. Yes, sir. So we'll cut to present day after flexing our budget with a smooth, abridged version of the Bob's Burgers intro. Go on. And it turns out the Belchers are struggling with money. Shocking. I know, right? So Bob and Linda devise a carefully crafted plan to bring a burger to bribe their banker into extending their loan. Oh, so like he tried to do in season 2 to even get a loan? Well, no, that was a little different. Or like he tried to do in season 1 with Calvin Fishoder. Hey. Gonna need you to get all the way off my back about that. Okay, let me get off that thing. Thank you, sir. So you know how a ton of movies open with a bunch of exposition? We won't be doing that, right? No, we are, but it's Bob's Burgers, so we're gonna have every Belcher sing their exposition. Oh, so it's a musical. Yeah. Young adults love their musicals, don't they? They sure do. So Bob and Linda sing about how this plan of theirs is gonna save them financially, while Tina sings about her big summer plans to ask out Jimmy Jr. Jimmy Jr., you mean the boy who constantly rejects her outside of a couple episodes? The very same, but this is a movie, so things are gonna be different maybe. How so? Unclear, but Louise sings a song too. Oh, well, what's her deal? Well, she's gonna become insecure about wearing her bunny ears all of a sudden. Oh, childhood insecurities are... No, sir, we only do one of those per video. I'm sorry, video? Gene also does his little number about an instrument that he created that's gonna revolutionize the music industry. Interesting. What's it made of? A napkin holder, spoon, and rubber band. Oh. Well, he's just a regular MacGyver, isn't he? Keenly observed. Thank you. So what happens after this melodic exposition? Well, we're gonna cut to Louise and the kids at recess, where one Chloe Barbash is doing this dead man's drop thing. Okay. And Chloe taunts Louise to give it a try, but she's afraid her bunny ears will fall off. Oh, I see. So the random insecurities from the song were meant to tee up this moment. Exactly. Got it. Yeah, so because Louise isn't into it, Chloe calls her, quote, the B word. Oh my, that's very foul language for Bob's Burgers. I guess this really is a movie. No, see, the B word is actually baby. Okay, so what happens after that? Well, we're gonna cut back to Bob and Linda singing about the sunny side up summer of their lives. Oh, more of the song. Right, but the song is interrupted by a mass of water erupting in front of the restaurant. Goodness. Yeah, it turns out the ground and sidewalk in front of the restaurant's been slowly deteriorating. Oh, is that random too? Well, no, because we've had a few people trip over a crack in the ground in the season leading up to the thing. Sounds like a serious crack problem. Indeed, but we had to hit that continuity. Fair enough. So did you tie this back to the shark that they buried in the same spot before eating its way to their basement? That would have been a phenomenal idea. No, we forgot about that. Well, we haven't started production yet. So Bob gets depressed about the situation and has a moment with Linda. Right. But we cut to the kids having respective fantasies about their troubles from the song. Oh, so now they're all worried about the gaping hole that's threatening their livelihood? No, because Jimmy Jr. and napkin-y things are more important. Obviously. So Louise summons her council of otaku merchandise so she can figure out how to prove that she's not a B word. Baby. Right? And that leads to her deciding to go down the hole to prove her bravery. Very irresponsible. Well, she's only 9 years old. Fair enough. Yeah, so things don't quite go as planned and Louise stumbles upon the skeleton of a dead body. Well, that escalated quickly. Well, I'm thinking this will be one of those 90-minute things, so we have to make good use of the time. Well, alright, so then what happens? Well, after she slips and falls, the skeleton is gonna end up right over her, so we're gonna have its teeth fall directly into her mouth. Oh, wow. Wow. So the body is later identified as a carny named Cotton Candy Dan. Oh, the one from 6 years ago. Glad you're following along. Guess it's gonna be tough for the Belchers to run their business with a hole and a dead body in front of it. No, actually, it's gonna be quite simple. Hardly a problem at all. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Well, I figure we don't want Ryan George coming after us, do we? Certainly not. He has one of those two first name kind of names. We don't want any of that. No, sir, we don't. But back to the meeting. Right, so you said the hole's not going to be a problem for their business. How's that? Well, because Bob's best friend Teddy comes to the rescue with a portable restaurant that he made. Well, Teddy does have a big heart, doesn't he? In more ways than one, yes. So how does that portable thing work out? Well, they set up shop at Wonder Wharf and Linda decides she's going to use sex to sell burgers. Ooh, sex and burgers is the American dream. And a gal in a barn. So I guess they sell their sex burgers then. They do, but Teddy accidentally runs over a little shrine that the other carnies set up for Cotton Candy Dan. Oh, whoops. Whoopsie. No more sex burgers, I guess. No, they get chased off the wharf. And what about the dead body? What's going on there? Well, it turns out Calvin Fishoulder gets arrested for the murder because they found a bullet from his gun inside the skeleton. Sounds like the final nail in the Belcher coffin if their landlord gets locked away. Right, but Louise is on the case because she wants to solve a homicide to prove she's not a baby. So we're still on that then. Yes, sir. So how does she investigate? Oh, she goes to talk to the other carnies, but they're not happy with Mr. Fishoulder and need to sing a song about it. More singing. Well, that's how you hit the runtime. Makes sense. So how's that work out? Well, Mickey and the gang aren't as convinced of Calvin's innocence as Louise. Oh, Mickey makes an appearance. Yes, sir. We want to bring back a few favorite underused characters for this feature film. Okay, like Daryl, Sergeant Bosco, Marshmallow. Yeah, we could just put her in the end credit. That'll work. Oh, Grover Fishoulder, Calvin's cousin and lawyer, will return too, but that's not important. No. Wonderful. So what happens next? Well, Louise suspects that Felix Fishoulder, Calvin's younger brother, is the culprit. On what grounds? On the grounds that he and his girlfriend tried to kill her father before. Oh yeah, I forgot that Bob accepted bribe money to keep the attempt at his life on hush. Quite the homicidal enabler. Quite. So how does Louise get the proof that Felix is the murderer? Well, she and the kids sneak into his guest house where they overhear that he and his girlfriend Fanny are planning to flee the country. Oh, very suspicious. They follow Felix and happen to fall into Fishoulder's clubhouse. Oh yeah, how's that happen? How does anyone happening to happen on anything happen? It's called happenstance. Okay, sure. So does Louise get her proof? Well, not exactly, because it turns out that all the Fishoulders are fleeing to Cuba because they're afraid that Grover won't be able to beat the case for Calvin. So how's he a good lawyer if he won't even try and defend his own cousin? I don't know. Fair enough. So what's going on in the clubhouse? Well, Louise still thinks that Felix is guilty and is just using the mutual fleeing as a cover-up. Okay. But during a bit of roughhousing, Louise notices a family photo where Grover is wearing a banana cufflink, which pretty much solves the case. Oh, how's that? Well, remember when those skeleton teeth fell into Louise's mouth? Don't remind me. Well, turns out Louise kept one of the teeth and the pattern on the tooth matches a bite mark on Grover's arm. Oh, she must have the eyesight of a bunny to notice that minute detail, right? Right? So Grover realizes that he's been made and decides to threaten to kill everyone with a crossbow. That's kind of a lot, only from a 9-year-old noticing that small detail. How does he know she put all those pieces together? Gonna need you to shut up about that. So Bob and Linda arrive and get their phones dumped so they can get smartphones in the new season. But everyone manages to escape after Tina twists the nipples of a dude. I'm sorry, what? We also plan to treat everyone to a chase scene where Grover turns into the stuff of nightmares. So Grover eventually catches up to the Belchers in one of those tiny car thingies. Is that how you wrote it? Yeah, it says here, tiny car thingies. Well, alright, so what happens after that? Well, Grover pushes the Belchers into the hole and buries them alive, leaving them to die. Oh, very dark. And what'll be the rating on this thing? I was thinking PG. Gonna need you to bump that thing up to PG-13. Will do, sir. So after a bit of backstory on Bob's mom and the origin of Louise's bunny ears, they finally escape by ramming into an underground water main. Very clever. Right, so now the Belchers have to rescue the Fishoulders because Grover's plan is to blow up the wharf, taking his cousins with it. Well, why would he do that? Well, he wants to build a mega park in its place. Did Felix Fishoulder try to kill Bob and Calvin in order to build condos on the wharf? That's right. So the Fishoulders are a bunch of homicidal crazy people then. Yeah, makes you wonder what Calvin's done to amass his wealth, but we'll save that for the next movie. Oh, you think there's gonna be 2 of these things? Well, hopefully. So do those Belchers rescue the Fishoulders? Well, I figure we round out Louise's story arc by having her stop the fuse that's gonna explode the wharf. Oh, this is just Louise Belcher the movie then. She is our highest rated character, sir. Fair enough. Yeah, so she stops the fuse and finally proves to herself that she's brave. Fantastic. And then what? Well, the Fishoulders are rescued, so we're gonna cut to days later to round out Tina and Gene's thing. Oh? Yeah, so Tina gives this whole awkward speech about romance to Jimmy Jr. but still doesn't pop the question. Cool. And Gene unveils this phenomenal song that he's been sitting on the entire film. Nice. What are the lyrics? Let me hear you say burr, twist it, twirl it, cook it, bake it, do your thing, shake those little burger buns. My burger buns are shaking for you. Oh, that's it. Pretty much. But didn't we produce a short last year called My Butt Has a Fever with like a ton of lyrics? We did. Seems like we should have waited on that and used that for the end of this movie. Oh, whoops. Whoopsie. So does Louise get back at that Chloe girl? Oh yeah, she actually does the dead man's drop thing and the hat ends up falling off, but it's not a big deal because she's brave now. Oh, we finally get to see what's under that thing. No, she puts it back on just off screen, so no. Well, don't you think that'll piss a bunch of people off? Well, I think the fans have come to appreciate the mystery. Well, alright then. So what do you think? Well, it seems more like a really long Bob's Burgers episode. How they're gonna know it's a movie? Well, I was thinking we'd pour 80% of the budget into the animation. That'll work. Perfect. Well, it sounds like you got some kinks in there, but with Bob's Burgers' dedicated fan base and commercial success, I'm sure it's gonna be a big hit. Hey guys, it's me from the thing you just watched. Thanks so much for checking out the video. And if you're unfamiliar with this style of pitch meeting, I'll link Ryan's pitch meeting channel in the description. And Ryan, if you do end up watching this video, they say imitation is the highest form of flattery. So here's hoping that you're flattered, because I love your stuff, man. I'm the Bobiston. Do me a favor and click one of these things. You're already here, so get comfortable and stay warm.